Hey guys, here we are at Parker Automotive. We have an '06 Hyundai Elantra today. It came in with a, they said they saw antifreeze on the top of their engine area. And so the mechanic has pressure checked it. Found an upper radiator hose leak.
Right, here it is right here. So what happened is it actually broke right at the connector. Right where the, man, I just lost my mind. Anyway, it broke right at the clamp.
Yeah.
So you really couldn't tell. It was spraying down inside there. I pressured it. Everything's good. The reason why I did this video is I wanted to show this tool. This tool right here, it's an airlift by OEM Tools. I did have one made by Mako. It's kind of got like the screw-in ones and all that, and it's, you know,
Purging tool?
Yeah, it's a purging tool. It lasted for a while. It was a good tool, everything else, but the thing was, you know, other than Craftsman, no other tool company, their lifetime warranties usually only last, you know, a year or two, if that. Anyway, so that being said, I'm going to show you how this one works. This is a purge tool. Does the same thing as a snap-on one. I think it costs $30-something. The reason why I bought it is because I figured $30, it means if I do one job, it paid for itself.
What does purging the cooling system mean?
Well, on most vehicles, you do have, I have a Liesel, which actually, on the older cars, you could connect it right to the radiator cap, and what would happen is it would basically burp the system. You'd have the car running, and then air pockets would bubble out once the thermostat opened, and then you'd add coolant to it, and then it would fully get any air out of the system, at least for the most part. On newer vehicles, because of how the heater core is located down low, if it was located real high, or if it's located higher than the point in which the hoses go in, then it doesn't, it'll get an air pocket in there. So what this does is, this actually pushes air in and purges air out, so that when you're done, there's no air pockets in the system. And that's, newer vehicles, this is the way to go. Any technician, it's not very an excessively amount of time. You don't really want to do it with coolant in there because it just kind of sucks it back out, but it does work. This kit right here comes with 5 different adapters, which are for the different thicknesses inside the radiator caps. It does come with a smaller one. This is a lot bigger, and then it also comes with a universal one, which you just push down inside and use, which is a good thing to do. I don't personally like to use that one. I'd rather do it my way. There is even a smaller one that will fit in there. And then basically what you do is you just push it in, put it down taut. This has different, I like this one. I like my other one too, but and to be honest, that one did work a little bit better. It was easier to maintain because it had sure fit, but this does the same. What I did was I actually got an empty coolant bottle. I put a little adapter on here so I can use this, and then what happens is if there's any, you know, the coolant will actually, the pressure will bleed out into here. Then you just connect your, the other end for cleaning to the other side. Now we're just going to turn these nozzles off. Put all this away. I mean, this is a good machine. You'll make your money back pretty quick. I don't really like to deal with a lot of Chinese stuff, but really OEMs basically are out there for a minute. They do got some other halfway decent. I think they're actually part of OTC. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna turn the air on. I'm gonna start purging the system, but I'm gonna turn this on just to get some fluid inside the line. So when I do, see now it's It's already got coolant inside the lines. You come over and you stand over here. Try to keep that straight. Now you see how it's actually sucked all the air out of the system, right? You see the upper radiator hose is collapsed. You see the bottom one? This is the lower. It's already collapsed. Now what you want to do, if you can shine it on here, is you want it to have about 25 minus inch in water, you know. So that's what the gauges run at. At 25, it's usually pretty good. Like you can see, there's no coolant in the system because I didn't put any back in yet. This is just going to purge. What's going to happen, any coolant that is up in the back, it's going to kind of run back. Okay, so you see right here, this is the air coming out of the system. And so far, it's okay. And like you can see, that was pretty quick. Usually if you have to run this and you do it the old way, you literally have to, sometimes, this is the only bad thing about this one, sometimes you gotta hold it into place. That being said, just put your hand on it. I don't even think it's been 2 minutes yet. I've already built up my pressure. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off this nozzle right here, and I'm going to check and see if there's any air leaks. So right now it's still holding. So if it did have a leak, it would fall backwards. I usually let it sit for about 2 minutes. But I pretty much know there's no other leaks. I still have the air on here, but it's not going. You see, I got the shutoffs turned off, and then this side is also turned off. Then what will happen is once I start adding to it, you know, it'll take out of that other can. And so we got a minute, still no leaks, still at 25. Still holding pressure. So this tool is a dual purpose. You can also check for pressure, leaks, but it's better just to use the thing. So now I'm just going to add to it, and it's sucking from the from there. Hold on a second. I'm going to need another bottle. Because like it's actually, it's hard to see, but it's already sucked in. You see how? And I just don't want to get no air in there. Okay, I'll turn it off. The next one, which
I'm just taking a look at all the coolant in the inside because that's where where it was leaking at. And when before the car goes out and is ready for pickup, the mechanic's going to pressure wash the motor. Why he does that is he's going to pressure wash it and clean it, and that way if there is any problems with the work he did or any other problems, it'll be all clean, and when they come back he'd be able to tell, like,
right, if it's leaking somewhere else. This right here is going to, like you can see, took about a gallon. So that's pretty much what it takes. And like you can see, if you're a young technician or an old technician, or you're doing it for yourself, this is like, actually I think I paid 49 bucks for it. Something like that, 50 bucks. But it was 3 times cheaper than buying the Snap-on one. And though the Snap-on one, you have to buy all the adapters, because it's the Snap-on and the Mako and the Mac, the Cornwell, they're all the same one, they're just renamed. You have to have the special adapters that screw on, then this would actually go onto there, and they're nice. But I just think it's more practical to have one that that literally is universal, not just says universal. You know, so far I've purged this system and did all that in less than 5 minutes. So I'm just gonna kind of, like you want to come over here, you see it's sucking out a little bit. You know, 'cause
I can see.
You see what happened right here? It actually is starting to suck it in. So I sometimes do that only because, just say there is still air inside of the heater core, and you don't get it all. This way, there's fluid inside the system, and now if there is any air in the back, it's being purged out even more so. And you're not wasting the little bit, because it looks like there's a lot coming out because it's air box, basically. Aerated coolant. It's going to go into here, and when I'm done with that, I'm going to pour it into the overflow bottle, so whatever comes out goes right back in. So you're not wasting anything. So if you are a shop owner, you might want to think about, you know, say 10 minutes top purging the system on a tool that's $50. That means that you do 2 coolant systems, and then you paid for it 2 times. That's crazy, right? Or you buy one off the truck, you use 10 coolant changes, and then it's paid for. This one right here, the brakes, which, to tell you the truth, I had it for what? I had it for a little bit more than a year. I've done maybe, man, almost every car we do. I mean, literally, I probably use this 5 times a week or more, so it makes its money back real quickly. And this right here, I'll tell you what, I did buy one before, really crappy design. This one right here, all the connectors are steel. It's pretty healthy put together. Like, I like the way it's built. Alright, so now I'm just gonna allow it to suck back in now, whatever it can. I do got clean 5-gallon buckets, but this car only takes about 1.5 gallons, so it'd be wasted, because then I gotta clean everything when I'm done. And we're done here. And it does suck a little bit. On some of these smaller caps, you do gotta kind of keep your hand on it. And bam. So far, so good. Right, this is some of them that some technicians have, which are pretty good. This is Liesel. It's actually, I don't know if you can see it, but what happens is they usually give you different connectors to fit the different cars. What happens is you'll go and say you got one vehicle, you'll have it like that. You'll stick, just say it's this one right here. You'll stick the cap over top of it. You put that on there. Then you tighten this down, then you fill this up with coolant, you let the vehicle run, you pull the top out of here, and it'll just basically, I usually leave it a little bit hanging up. I put the antifreeze in there, lift it up occasionally, it sucks it down with the pressure. Then when it's done, it'll actually suck this in there, you know, then let the car run. When the thermostat opens, you let it up. It purges more out and sucks more down, and then it's done. But the problem is, it takes longer to do it, and there's an if or maybe that it fully went. This is actually done right now. So going to take whatever came out of here, which is very little. I'm going to take a look just so they can see. Not much came out even after, so there's nothing wasted. Boom. This one. This I just put away. Now, cleanup is pretty minimal. You just unscrew it. Comes off how it is. Just comes off there. It's basically just an adapter. Drain the rest down into the can. Done. And like you can see, where coolant is topped off right where it should go. It's not overfull, not under. See in there? It's actually right where it should be, right to the very top. So I'm just gonna cut it back just a little bit more. Done. It's pretty much, it's cleaner this way, I believe. Less fluid gets all over. Less to clean up. Down they go. Now, it didn't cost $180, but it did a $180 job. So, that being said, oh yeah, and I got that from an OTC website. So somebody might say, well, that's Chinese made. It might be, but there's only 7% of any tools that are made in the United States that aren't made overseas. So, that being said, thank you for watching. Parker Automotive, God bless you and God bless America.